So today, I'm super excited to finally play my favourite colour combination on the ladder with a heavy artifact theme and my favourite cards from the Brothers War. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today we're hitting up the standard ladder with some aggro Abzan artifacts. But before we get going, I really want to thank everyone for their support for this channel. It's so great I get to share my videos with you, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, as you won't miss out on future content, and you'll be massively supporting the channel too as we continue to grow. But onto this deck, and I'm going to go very aggressive with Abzan artifacts. There's a lot of synergy here between the cards, but I'll quickly run through the deck. Firstly, the cards that get a payoff when artifacts are cast. So I'll start with Teething Wurmlet. It's my first time playing this card and I do love it. It's a 1/1 worm that once per turn gets a +1/+1 counter, and you gain a life each time an artifact hits the battlefield, and it has Death Touch if you control 3 or more artifacts. It's a great 1-drop and perfect in this deck. We have Patchwork Automaton, a 1/1 with Ward 2 that gets a +1/+1 counter when an artifact hits the battlefield. The ward is perfect early in the game and is really hard for the opponents to remove on that turn 1 or turn 2. I'm also trying Yotian, I think I've said that right, Dissident. It's another 1/1, but when an artifact ETBs under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on any target creature. So onto the artifact creatures. We're playing Simian Simulacrum. It's a 2/1 that when it ETBs, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It also has Unearth 4, so it's a great card to discard in the face of any Lilianas out there. We have Rootwire Amalgam. It's our first of the prototypes. It's either a 2/3 or a 5/5 depending on the mana spent to cast it. And for 3 and 2 green, you can sacrifice it and create an XX Golem token where X is 3 times the Rootwire's power. It gains haste 2. It's a really nice addition to the card, as it does make a difference if you've got nothing else to do and you just need to get that last little bit of damage through. So we'll move on to my favourite 2 creatures. Talked about this before, but it's Steel Seraph. It's a prototype 3-cost 3/3 or a 6-cost 5/4 that has flying and gives flying, vigilance or lifelink at the beginning of combat to any creature. And we're playing Phyrexian Fleshgorger. It's another prototype creature. This time it's a 3/3 for 3 or a 7/5 for 7. It has menace and ward. Its ward is to pay life equal to its power. It's a super strong card and is really annoying for anyone playing against it. So between these creatures, we should have enough to be able to win, but we do have 2 tricks up our sleeve. Firstly, one I've played before, but it's just too good not to include here. We've got Touch the Spirit Realm. It's an enchantment that imprisons a creature, or for 2, you can basically flicker a creature instead. So you want to flicker your own prototype creature to get the bigger version on the opponent's second main phase, and you'll get it for your next turn. And finally, it's the return of Michiko's Reign of Truth. Saga that pumps your creatures for each artifact or enchantment you control. Not many enchantments in this deck. It's all artifacts, but it does the same thing. We're running a couple of Infernal Grasps. We have a lot of life gain, so I'm not too troubled if we take a lot of damage. And just 24 lands today, which is pretty tight, but it seemed to do okay. So have a watch of my games. Let me know if any changes you'd make and any decks you'd like to see in the future. Alright, on the play, and this is a really good hand. It's about 95% perfect. We could just do with an untapped green mana on turn 1 to get this Wurmlet down, but so be it. We'll just play the Glade and pass. Opponent has a Yotian or Frontliner. I think I've said that right. And we get to play our Wurmlet on turn 2. So I didn't record the first game accidentally, but we did go ahead and win. So this is actually my game number 2. Didn't hit the record button. But anyway, we'll drop our 3rd mana here. We have a few options. I want to play the most mana efficient play, so I'm going to play this Fleshgorger. Next turn we can drop the Caves and we can double spell. Didn't want to play the Automaton there, then next turn only be able to play 1 spell, so just maximizing our board here. Opponent looks like they're on mono white soldiers. As they lay down arms our Fleshgorger. That is not a problem at all, as they are going to take 3 damage for doing that. Another Guardian of New Benalia. Alright, so this is going to be difficult to get through. His opponent jumps in with their 2/2 and enlists, so it's going to be a 3/3, but they get to scry 2. It's going to be a tough game, this one. We're not playing any board wipes, so we're relying on just pumping our creatures to sort of quite high amounts. So we find a swamp. So yeah, we'll play the Automaton. And then we get to play the Rootwire Amalgam. So that's not a problem at all. We do have the Michiko in our hand, so as long as we just keep pressing the attack button, we might be okay. The Wurmlet gains a life each time an artifact enters the battlefield once per turn, so... Mire. Okay, well, that card, or Mire, that card is going to be difficult for us here. Yeah, when that attacks, it's going to gain... They're going to gain soldiers, so... We're going to have to find a way to deal with that card over the next few turns. But anyhow, they're attacking with their Guardian, and yeah, the opponent gave us 3 life early on, and our Wurmlet keeps gaining us life, so we'll just take this. Back down to 20, as we find a Touch the Spirit Realm. Alright, that's pretty nice. That gets to deal with their 3-4, which was going to cause a massive problem for us. So the Touch the Spirit Realm, predominantly in the deck to flicker our prototype creatures. However, in this particular case, we get to exile their best card and even get to play our Michiko here. And we'll put it on our Automaton and attack down our opponent. Yeah, and they block the 6/6. And they're just going to discard and keep their Guardian alive. That is fine. Opponent goes down to 9 though. So Steel Seraph off the top would be pretty nice, as we could... Haven't done the math, but I think the opponent would go down to a very low amount if we can give our creature flying. Okay, we find a Wurmlet. I mean, that's probably not the best draw there, but it's better than a land, and it's something we can do. So again, we'll just pump our 6/6, and we'll attack our opponent, and see what they want to do. Double block, triple block, all right. Okay, so they're gonna triple block. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna gain some soldiers, I guess, from the Siege Veteran. But I don't mind taking out a couple of their creatures. Definitely need to find a way to deal with the Siege Veteran now. They gain a couple of 1/1s, and yeah, we'll just play this Teething Wurmlet and pass turn. I didn't think they were gonna triple block there, but we'll take that. Okay, so Siege Veteran puts another +1/+1 counter on their target creature. You target one of their soldiers, fair enough. And we drew another Michiko, okay. Well, that was pretty nice. I mean, that's one of our better draws. So we'll drop the Michiko. And yeah, we'll just attack with our Wurmlet. So presumably they're just going to block with a 1/1, yeah. They're pesky little 1/1s. But they're down to 1 card left. They do have a frontliner that they can unearth. And there's another frontliner. And the Guardian becomes a 4/4 now. But no attacks, as we find a Fleshgorger. Now that is a good card for us to draw there. But we'll be able to pump one of our creatures again with our Saga. Gonna go for the Portrait this time. It's now an 8/8, and we can cast a Fleshgorger before attacks to make it a 9/9. Also pumps up the Wurmlets. The Guardians are really annoying, so I'm gonna attack with the 9/9 only, I think here. Kind of wanted to attack with a 4/4, but I think the opponent would just block and sacrifice or discard one of their cards. So we'll just keep plugging away here, and eventually, hopefully, the opponent runs out of cards. We haven't been drawing any lands, so it's been pretty nice top decking for us. Fleshgorger is going to be annoying here for them. Thalia, okay. Maybe a little bit too late for them there. But they make it a 3/2. As we draw another Reign of Truth. Okay. So we've hit all 3, or we've hit 3 of them. But we'll drop this, and I guess we just pump up our Fleshgorger here. If anything, it's going to gain us 9 more life. Ah, opponent scoops it up. Yeah, that's just going to be too much for them to take. Alright, on the play here. Really nice hand, actually. We don't have any turn 1 play, so we'll play the tap land. And Sego. Opponent with a Swamp and a Sleeper. We find another land, that's always good, but we'll play the Automaton. Best thing about this card is it's Ward 2. They won't have any way to deal with this on this turn. They're probably playing Cut Downs and Infernal Grasps, but the Automaton survives at least till the next turn. They get in with a 1-1. Yeah, no blocks here. And I expect them to pump, maybe? Nope. So a turn... What, a 2-drop? Yeah, Tenacious Underdog, fair enough. Alright, we draw another land, so no more lands, please, but we get to play this Steel Seraph, and this is going to be pretty nice, because we get to put a +1/+1 counter on our Seraph, and yeah, we just attack the opponent for 2. Try and get some damage in while we can. Seraph's going to be a great way for later in the game for us to start getting some life, so I'm not too bothered if they want to attack us. I'm not going to block. Yep. And not going to block the Sleeper because they can make it a 3/3. They keep hovering over our Automaton. Okay, so cut down. A 3-mana cut down on our 2/2. I guess it was the best time for them to do that, otherwise we're just going to cast another artifact and put it out of range. But we draw a Fleshgorger, and that's going to be pretty powerful later on. We don't have a green mana there. I wanted to get the Amalgam down. But we'll play this Fleshgorger, and if we can try and create a turn where we use the Touch the Spirit Realm, then we can put way too much power on the board. Opponent finds their 4th swamp though. Against Gigs, okay. Alright, so they're going to attack with their 3/2. I'm not blocking again. They can draw cards all they like, because they're going to lose a life by doing so. And we're just next turn. Hopefully we draw a green mana. There we go. So we get to double spell. Well, we get to play our Amalgam here. And we are going to hold open our Touch the Spirit Realm. And we are going to try and win next turn. So I'm just going to give the Steel Seraph some lifelink. I guess I could have given the Fleshgorger flying. I don't think it really matters which way I do things. But we're going to hold open the Touch the Spirit Realm here anyway, so if the opponent wants to target any of our creatures, or any, well, to be honest, they're all prototype creatures, we can flicker them at instant speed. And I've put a stop in the opponent's second main phase, because you want to do it in the second main, not end step, as the creature returns to the battlefield in the next end step. Made that mistake before. So they're getting super aggressive by attacking with all. We could block. We could have blocked and then touched the Spirit Realm, but I'm worried that they might have a like a removal spell in response. So we're just going to hold fire a second here. Hopefully they play a nice big follow-up creature, because we win next turn if we get to touch the Spirit Realm, this Fleshgorger. Graveyard Trespasser. Alright, that's going to be slightly annoying as they're going to gain a life. So yeah, that's really annoying, because we can do 10 damage next turn by flickering the Fleshgorger now. But we'll try and find a way to win the game, I think. So we get to discard that, and yeah, we've got enough damage on board. And luckily we drew a green mana, so we get to see the Rootwire Amalgam's secret ability here. You get to sacrifice it, create a Golem which has 3 times the original power of the Amalgam, and the Steel Seraph can give it flying, and the Menace on the Fleshgorger will allow us to attack the opponent unopposed. Great little win there. Alright, on the draw. Non-land looks really nice. I think I'm going to have to look at the land after this game just to have a look at to see if we can do anything, because we're getting a lot of tap lands. I'm only playing a couple of copies, I think, of these tap lands, but it would be nice to have the Wurmlet on turn 1 and then have a know that we've got a follow-up play on turn 2. Opponent on mono red though. Probably best not playing the Wurmlet though. We'll hopefully get them to overcommit to the board, and we'll play the more control role here, I think. So mono red might be a difficult one for us to play against. As the Swift Spear comes down, gets a +1/+1 counter from the Kamano, and play with fire to our face. So we're already down to 14. So this is as strong a start I think the opponent can have. So we've got a worm, another Wurmlet there. There's no point playing these, I don't think. They'll just die, and then the Swift Spear will get prowess. And the opponent will be attacking with both the Kamanu and the Swift Spear, so we need to kill their creatures. And unfortunately with the grass, we're going to take damage by doing so, but over the course of the game, that's going to be a lot less damage than we're going to take if the creatures go unopposed. Okay, so they finally go to attacks. And we're just going to have to grasp this Swift Spear. It went quite quickly though, so I don't know if they've got any instant speed spells in their hand. Voltaic Missionary, eh? It's a 3/1. And we'll just drop our Steel Seraph, which we can't because we don't have the mana. Played the wrong mana there, unfortunately. Alright, we'll play the Wurmlet instead and we'll hold open the Infernal Grasp. Actually, we never had double white mana there at all, so I wasn't to know who was going to draw the Steel Seraph, but we should have played the Sanctum a couple of turns back, but doesn't matter. As our opponent gets to use their Voltaic Visionary to exile top card of their library, they play the land and it now becomes a 4/3. So it's a card you don't see often. And they follow up with a Phoenix Chick. Well, we're not going to be able to take this much damage again throughout the game, so another Infernal Grasp, this time on the Etchin, and we're going to take another 2, then another 1, down to 7. So this is a tough game. We have a small out in this Steel Seraph in our hand. It's going to be a nice little way for us to gain some life back, so I guess that's our hope here. Opponent follows up with a Radar's Firebrand as we find another land. Alright, so I think this case it's best that we play the Wurmlet, then throw down the Steel Seraph, and fill our board with blockers. I'd love to gain some life here through the Steel Seraph, but I think I'm going to want to do some damage though. I think I'm just going to give it Vigilance. If opponent blocks, that's great. If they don't, then at least we have a blocker. Alright, so the Steel Seraph is going to keep us in this game here. We need to make sure it stays alive. Then with our Saga, we can gain a load of life. And Mono Red's biggest nemesis is life gain. So opponent gets to attack with all, and they get to make a creature unblockable. They choose one of our Wurmlets, which surprises me slightly, as we've got a couple of easy blocks here. We go down to 4, and we find a Fleshgorger. All right, that's really nice. So we'll play that first. Yeah, we'll play that first, just checking my mana there. And then we'll play the Reign of Truth. Yeah, and we get to pump our Steel Seraph to a 6/6. And we're going to give that a life gain, please. And yeah, I mean, I don't think the opponent can get back from this. They're going to have to kill our... They got to kill this Steel Seraph. Because next turn, our Saga's going to pump again. And it's a Thundering Raiju. They attack with the team. And what, they've got 9 damage on board, no extra mana, so we can take that, go down to 1. Yeah, and I think we've got lethal here, so this is a nice win on 1 life. Haven't done that for a while, but it's always nice when that happens. I'm not sure if the opponent knew or thought that they could have won there, because they didn't have to attack. But yeah, we'll just kill them. All right, on the draw. Nice hand, except for the mana again. Please feel free to adjust the land. I feel like maybe with the automatons, because they're too colorless, that we could get away with maybe playing some more basics to have some untapped land on turn 1. But this is where we are. We did draw a Llanowar Wastes, which is pretty nice because then we get to play our automaton turn 2. Opponent with a swamp and another swamp. Okay. And yeah, we get to drop our automaton. Another swamp for our opponent. So mono black, but they don't seem to have any creatures on the board. 3 mana though equals Liliana usually. There it is. Gets around our ward, but it's still a 3-cost creature that they're going to... sorry, a 3-cost planeswalker, so it takes up their whole turn. Pretty fine with where we are. We'll play the Fleshgorger. Then at least if the opponent plays a blocker, we can get around it to kill Liliana. The ward's nice. But this early in the game, I don't think it matters too much for our opponent. They're going to make us discard. Well, we have this Simulacrums. They have Unearth, so perfect card to discard to a Liliana. Another Fleshgorger. That's going to be super annoying for our opponent. I think before we do anything, they did miss a land drop that turn. I'm going to attack down the Liliana. What's interesting, if you can see it, is that they discarded a Go for the Throat. So I'm wondering if they're using Go for the Throat as their removal of choice in this game. And the fact that 95% of our creatures are artifacts is it's got to be a bit upsetting there. Opponent has another Liliana. All right, I guess that's a good way to get around the wards that we have in at our disposal. But fair enough, we'll just sacrifice another one of these Fleshgorgers. Steel Seraph's nice. But I think we're going to go for the most mana-efficient play right now. And we'll drop the Automaton, play our Michiko, put it on the Fleshgorger, and I don't really care about Liliana right now, so we'll just tap the opponent down to 14. We can discard the other Simulacrum, and we can start unearthing them as well. So next turn's going to be a massive turn. Yeah, and they just scoop it straight up. Alright, on the draw here. Actually, I've won the last 5 games on the bounce with this deck, so we're going pretty nicely. Hand looks okay as well. Yeah, kind of like this, so we'll play out our farmland. Opponent with a couple of swamps and Misery Shadow. Okay. Alright, another land for us. So we'll play out our land and gonna just play the Amalgam. Could have played the Wurmlet there. I presume the opponent's got a way to remove it, but gonna play the most efficient, mana efficient plays we've got. And using up all our mana there. Alright, they had a cut down anyway, so the Wurmlet wouldn't have survived, but I guess that's a decent way to get rid of our 2-3. Opponent didn't pump their Shadow, so you've got to suspect that they've got an Infernal Grasp in their hand or something. There it is. We could flicker it if we wanted to, but I'm not going to. Yeah, so our kind of decent opening hand has been kind of decimated a little bit. Opponent with a Shakedown heavy. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of this Misery Shadow for the moment. We draw planes. I was hoping for a Fleshgorger or a Steel Seraph there, but the Simian Simulacrum will have to do. Unfortunately, the heavy has Menace. Okay, another Liliana. Alright, they've come prepared. I don't really think there's a lot we can do here. This could be our first loss. We have to unfortunately sacrifice our creature and just going to let them attack us for 6. Don't want them drawing any more cards. Okay, it's just a forest, unfortunately. So we could touch the Spirit Realm there, Shakedown heavy if we wanted to. But right now, I think we just need to deal with Liliana for the moment. And we can use the Touch the Spirit Realm if they put down another creature. At least we can tap down the Shakedown heavy. There's a Sheoldred, okay. And yeah, we're going to have to tap down the Shakedown heavy this time. And we draw another Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay, so this hasn't worked out particularly well, but we'll definitely take out the Sheoldred. And I guess whilst we're at it, we'll just take out the Shakedown heavy as well. So fingers crossed all they have is land in their hand. We do find a 5th mana. It's not the Misery Shadow. Okay. Ooh, okay. So that's a 2-2. They can pump it 5 times to do 7 damage. They can do 8 damage. Alright, so they have lethal if they just attack and pump. They do not pump, so they miss lethal there. We find a touch the Spirit Realm. Alright, well, we'll deal with the Misery Shadow. Come on, deck, give us some a Steel Seraph or something. I'm wondering if they've just got removal in their hands. So this has been a weird old game. Corrupt. 6 damage straight to our face. Fair enough. Alright, fresh from our first loss, we'll go again. On the draw, and yeah, nice little hand here with our Wurmlet into either of our prototypes. We'll see what the opponent's playing. Broker's Hideout, okay. So if they look for an island. I have no idea what the opponent is playing here. We'll play our Wurmlet, and the Automaton was a really good draw as it gives us a turn 2 play. And even the Dissident as well. Well, we'll play the Automaton. Maybe the Dissident would have been a better card to play just there. But it's fine. Okay, so they've got 3 mana open. So I don't want to overcommit to this board due to the likelihood of them having removal. But I'm going to play the Steel Seraph here. And we'll see what happens. At least the Automaton gets a +1 counter. So something's holding priority at their end. Then the Wurmlet gets a counter as well. And we'll give our creature... let's just give it lifelink for the moment. Against control decks, I'm wondering if lifelink is going to be a bit annoying for them. Thirst for Discovery. Alright, so... they're not Haughty Djinn deck, are they? I don't know. No idea, but I am worried about their mana now. This is showing us that they've probably got a Wandering Emperor in hand. So they wouldn't be able to target the Automaton as it has Ward. Now, I'm going to play my spell first, because I kind of, if they've got a counter, I want them to counter it so they can't use their Wandering Emperor. And we'll pump our 5/5, as we can, like I said, it's got Ward. And we can give the Wurmlet here Vigilance. There we go. And I'm not going to attack with the Steel Seraph. I don't want to lose the card. At least this is getting around the Wandering Emperor. Okay, it's an Eiganjo. So I'm wondering if they did have the Wandering Emperor there and they were forced into using Eiganjo instead. But they did play a spell, so we'll play the Wurmlet at the end of our turn. Opponent now has 5 mana. They get into the 6 mana where I'll be worried about a Farewell. They just passed their turn, okay. So again, I'm worried about the Wandering Emperor. We'll play a spell pre-combat just in case they want to counter it, then we can attack unopposed. Going to play the Fleshgorger. We've only got 1 green mana, unfortunately, because I kind of wanted to play the Dissident and the Rootwire. But we'll play this Fleshgorger, and opponent's probably a little bit stuck here as to what to do. Urza's Rebuff. Alright, so that's going to take up their whole turn by tapping down 2 of our creatures. But I guess we get to give our Wurmlet Vigilance and attack our opponent down to 5. Yeah, didn't expect the Urza's Rebuff necessarily. Nice little card there against us. There's the Wandering Emperor. Well, they can only target the Seraph, and unless they've got a way to deal with our board, they're dead. Yeah. Alright, last game here. And we are on the draw with an odd looking hand. Now, the Fleshgorger is annoying that we don't have the black mana. And I did keep, but I'm wondering if in hindsight I should have pitched that and drawn 7 other cards and mulliganed, but opponent with a Horned Stoneseeker, sorry, creates a Power Stone. Alright, so different type of deck here. Yeah, definitely should have mulliganed. Got a bit greedy when I saw the 4 mana in our hand. So our game starts on turn 3. We really need to start getting some black mana though. So they attack us with their 2/2. And Excavation Explosion is going to do 3 damage to our face, and they get to create a Power Stone. So a Power Stone synergy deck. I haven't seen one of these before. Well, I haven't seen one of these for a while. Certainly not on the ladder against myself, so we'll see how we get on here. Very slow start by us though. And there's Khan, okay. Another Power Stone. The Menace on their creature means they can attack us for 2. Come on, black mana. Okay, white mana. Not what we needed. Alright, this is a tough situation we're in right now. I'm going to go for the Simulacrum. It's going to put 2 +1/+1 counters on the Dissident. The Dissident's going to put a +1/+1 counter on itself. And then we'll just hit Khan. Unfortunately, it doesn't die, but at least it takes it down to just 1 loyalty. Yeah, pretty sad turn there. Create another Power Stone, so you know that they've got some massive payoff with all this mana they've got here. There it is, Cityscape Leveler. So when you cast it and whenever it attacks, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. We get a Power Stone. I guess the Power Stone is not too bad for us. We do have artifacts we can use. And there we draw our first black mana. But unfortunately we're going to have to use the Infernal Grasp here to get rid of this 8/8. Changed my mind. Gone for the Touch the Spirit Realm. It has Unearth, so they would have just brought that back. Then we'd have lost our Simulacrum. At least this way, they're going to need to find some enchantment removal. We get to kill Khan. No point using our Michiko's Reign of Truth there. I wonder if we've managed to sort of stabilize here a little bit. So they have a lot of mana. We just need a black mana, I think, and we should be in quite a good position here, especially with the Fleshgorger and our Saga here. We're not too far away from casting the Fleshgorger for its... Well, in fact, we can cast the Fleshgorger for its full amount, actually. 7 mana with a Power Stone. Blade, Coil, Serpent. Alright. So 5/4. That does stuff. Not sure what just yet. So they get to draw a card. It's a 6/4 now. And they're attacking with their lands as well. Okay. Well, we can't take this much damage, unfortunately. Just checking if it has any attack triggers. And yeah, we just have to pass the Infernal Grasp here on the Serpent. Fortunately, we take 2 damage to do so. Steel Seraph. Okay. Playing the Steel Seraph, and I'm going to also play the Saga as well, so that we can get some lifelink. Put the opponent down to 8. We got up to 11. I wonder if we could steal this game. Okay, it's a Skitterbeam Battalion. Alright, that's going to create a couple of 4/4s. And I have no idea if we have enough blockers here. 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Alright, well, we lost, but only just. Good game. So thanks for watching. I ended up going 6-2. So I didn't record the first game, but we did win that one. I did have a lot of fun playing these games. The deck felt pretty solid and has some serious power if left unchecked, especially with the Steel Seraph and the Michiko. But anyway, feel free to subscribe for future videos, and I'll speak to you again very soon.